Welcome everyone. This is Josh Vision, and welcome to my WWE Raw, basically 1/8/2017 results and review, deal. So we begin this episode of Raw with basically it's gonna be a 3-on-3 tag team match that was made by Kurt Angle. It's gonna be the Balor Club versus basically Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jason Jordan. The next match we had was a 2-on-2 tag team match between Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And basically their basically the manager for the match was Mickey James for in the corner of Sasha Banks and Bayley, and Paige for Mandy Rose and Sonya. So basically the victor of this match was Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sasha Banks was able to apply the bank statement on Mandy Rose and made her tap out. So after that, we had a match between Cedric Alexander and Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore cut a great promo like usual. The match it was pretty much sort of dominated by Cedric Alexander, but he couldn't quite put Enzo Amore away. During the match, we see Nia Jax in the back looking all concerned, watching the match. Basically, the match ended with Cedric Alexander basically jumping, right onto Enzo, high fire move, and basically he landed kind of awkwardly on Enzo, and Enzo's, I believe it was ankle or his or his knee got injured in the process, and he wasn't able to make it, into the ring before the 10 count. So Cedric won the match, but Enzo keeps the title. So after that, we have Kurt Angle telling the Bar, aka Cesaro and Sheamus, that they'll get their tag team championship rematch against Seth and Jason Jordan at the Royal Rumble. But after that, Sheamus said that he feels ready to fight tonight. He's in his good clothes. Cesaro agreed. So Kurt Angle said he got a tag team match for them coming up next. So, turns out that tag team was actually Titus O'Neil Worldwide Brand. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I first heard the music, I thought it was the return of the Primetime Players. And then I remember Darren Young got fired. So, this match is pretty crazy. Like usual, I think I'm not the only one. I was expecting, Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil to lose, but they actually won. Got the upset win, and this was just very shocking and a really very enjoyable match. I wonder what they're gonna do with Titus O'Neil Brand. I wonder if this actually just like a fluke victory, or they're actually gonna try to build them up. So after that, we had Woken Matt Hardy versus the 150 times loser Kurt Hawkins. Well, I guess 151 times loser, because Woken Hardy whooped his tail, beat the crap out of him. After the match, Woken Hardy basically announced his entry into the Royal Rumble. After that, we had Samoa Joe versus Rhino with Heath Slater in his corner. The purpose of the match was for Rhino to show Heath Slater how to be a tougher superstar, and I believe that was really the main reason, honestly. So basically, Rhino put up a good showing. Samoa Joe still whooped his tail and put him to sleep with a Cobra Clutch. After that, Samoa Joe announced his intention to join into the Royal Rumble, and that he hopes John Cena. Well, actually, I think he said that he hoped John Cena and him actually fought in the match, and he hopes to be the first one to eliminate John Cena. So that's interesting. So besides that, we had this interesting backstage kind of exchange between Alexa Bliss and Asha, then between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Asha makes her entrance a few moments later, and she's jumped basically by Nia Jax. Nia Jax whips her tail. I think at one point she put all her I believe she kind of like a backdrop. She kind of backdropped her a bit, put all her weight on her stomach. It was really devastating. So Nia Jax sent her a message essentially to Asha. To Asuka. So after that, we have announced essentially that next week is going to be Asuka versus Nia Jax. So after that, we have I believe we had the guitar guy. What's his name? How can I forget? Elias sing us a really good tune before he introduced us to The Miz. The Miz returned after being away for 6 weeks. He had a great promo talking about how he was basically announced as the Wrestler of the Year from the Rolling Stones, saying that he's been the MVP, you know, for Raw and SmackDown 2017. He's elevated everyone's career who he's been in the ring with, even like his new teammates in Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. I think he talks about his series with his wife, which is supposed to be 6 episodes and unscripted, called Mr. and Mrs., actually, I believe. And he says that his intention is to get his title back from Roman Reigns. So pretty much straightforward. After that, we had a really good promo with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, but we should expect that from Paul Heyman. After the promo, and after Brock Lesnar sort of posing, on the ramp, Kane attacks Brock. They're brawling to the back, and then Braun Strowman beats the crap out of both of them. He literally throws them limb from limb all up against the walls and crap, throwing objects on them. And he actually, pulls, I forgot the name of it, pulls it all the way down, and it lands actually on both Kane and Lesnar. So Lesnar's taken to the hospital, and Kane's able to barely get up and walk, his way out of it, or his way, on from that, on his own power. So after that, we're getting little previews of Raw 25, the 25th anniversary of Raw, which is coming in 2 weeks. And besides that, we had a little talk with the Balor Club, talking about strategy, in their match against Roman Reigns, Seth, and Jason Jordan. We have a little bit of talk between Kurt Angle and The Miz. The Miz saying, "Do you know who I am?" Blah, blah. It's pretty much like a blah, blah. It's basically like The Miz rehashing what he said in his promo earlier with Kurt Angle. But he basically gets the point, says, "I want a rematch of Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title at Raw's 25th anniversary." Kurt Angle likes the idea. Kurt Angle, I believe Miz tried to touch him on the shoulder. And Kurt Angle was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, don't touch me ever again." So that was that. And I believe, if I'm not missing anything importante, we could get to the main event stuff. So the Balor Club versus the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jason Jordan. Long match, probably lasts about 20 minutes. There's a little miscue at the end, which allowed Balor to hit the coup de grace on Seth Rollins for the 1, 2, 3. So following that, we get a little exchange between Roman and Jason Jordan talking about that little miscue. And then we have The Miz and his Miztourage just beat the utter crap out of Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I believe at one point Miz hit 2 Skull Crush finales on Roman Reigns to end the episode. So thank you guys for watching my results and review. On this. It's going to get better as I start doing more of these more often. Kind of tired, clearly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Adios. Write your comments down below.